The topic of today's sermon is aspiration. A lot of us here are Buddhists or interested in Buddhism. Well, the leader of Buddhism is the Buddha, obviously. Now, if we want to use him as our example, we have to learn from what he did. In order for him to become the Buddha was very hard. But without one thing, there was no way he could become the Buddha. And this one thing that's very important is his aspiration. Now, he set an aspiration every step of the way, starting with the very first life when he asked to become the Buddha. And I'm going to tell you that story here now. A long, long time ago, like longer than you can imagine, and then multiply that by 4. They call it 4 uncalculable eras, like very long time ago. He was born as a rich Brahmin, the son of a rich merchant named Sumedha. Now, as he got older, he started to see how being rich was actually a burden, how being rich was not the source of happiness. So he decided to give away all his wealth to the poor and become a forest wanderer. He wasn't a monk, but he was like a forest ascetic, a forest wanderer. Now, when he was a forest wanderer, he practiced meditation, and he achieved the highest jhanas. And so he was able to fly, to disappear, to do all these supernatural things. One day while he was flying in the air, he noticed a lot of people on the ground getting ready for a big ceremony. So he flew down to the ground and stopped and asked them, "What are you guys doing? What is all this big fuss about?" And they said, "We are getting ready to meet the Buddha, Dipankara," which was the Buddha at that time. And he said, "Wow, a Buddha's coming? I want to help too. Can I help?" He said, "Sure. The problem is it rained a couple of days ago, so the floor is very muddy. So we want to get dirt and fill it up so that the floor will be dry, so the monks can walk and not get dirty and muddy." So everyone started filling in the mud with dirt. And he helped also. But they ran out of time. So there was about a meter or like 3 or 4 feet worth of space that was all muddy. And the Buddha was walking with like 10,000 monks. He didn't know what to do. No one knew what to do. So he immediately said, "I know what I'm going to do." And he went and laid in the mud on his stomach. And he took his hair, really long hair, and laid it out all over the mud so that the monks could walk on his back and on his hair so they wouldn't get their clothes and their feet dirty. As he was laying there, and as the Buddha and the monks walked on top of him, he made his aspiration. "May the good deed that I did here today, may the sacrifice that I have given here today, allow me to one day become a Buddha. Allow me to one day save people and help people cross the difficult world, just like the monks are crossing over my back. Hopefully one day I can help other people cross from suffering to the land of not suffering." And because of that aspiration, the Buddha turned around and said, he looked into the future and saw that it is true. This young man, one day in the long, long future, will one day successfully become a Buddha. And he did become the Buddha of our time. Now the point of this story is this. When you do things, whether it be good things or bad things, it's very important for you to have a sense of purpose. Why am I doing this? What is the goal that I want to achieve? If you have a clear goal and a smart goal, a wise goal, you will definitely reach your destination faster. But if you don't have a goal, if you're confused and have small, petty, selfish goals, you will have a very hard time reaching your goal because you don't know what it is. And so when you make merit, or when you do good things, or when you study, know why you're doing it. Like when you're in school, what is the purpose of school? To beat your friends? To get the best grade on the test? Or to learn? Or to learn how to learn? Or to be ready for the real world? What is the actual purpose? If you get confused, you might spend too much time trying to be popular in high school. You might spend too much time trying to beat your friends on a little pop quiz. But if you spend the time properly, you'll spend the time studying and making yourself a better person for the future of your own life. Therefore, in conclusion, as the Buddha taught us, one of the most important things you must do when you do anything is have a clear aspiration. What do you want from what you've done? What do you desire and what do you expect? And that aspiration has to be based on a good thing so that it will be benefit for you when it actually happens. Therefore, always have a clear goal in mind when you want to do something.